Hello, howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Private School Podcast live stream. We are roughly 16 and a half minutes away from the start of Parrish versus Prestonwood. Guys, Parrish is 11-1 coming into the contest. Prestonwood is 9-2. Prestonwood coming off a big win against Nolan last week. I just want to know, Parrish has been almost unstoppable this year. What are the keys to the game for Prestonwood to get any traction going?
I think you have to stop the run first and foremost. You know, when Maddox Reed goes, it's hard to stop him, and it's so hard to stop the Maddox Reed, especially behind that offensive line. So it's gonna be very interesting to start. The thing also, if you have to make Sawyer Anderson kind of uncomfortable. If you let him just sit back there and throw, that's a nightmare for any team he faces.
Absolutely. Ryan Schroeder, same question. Parrish has been dominant all year. What does Prestonwood have to do in this spot to get anything going?
You got to stop Maddox Reed. Maddox Reed's going to run the ball on you because they like to play both the pass and the run. If you can stop Maddox Reed and Cedric Mays, you'll be good to go. But if then they switch to the pass and you can't stop Sawyer Anderson and Derek Eusebio, as well as the rest of those wide receiver options, it's going to be a rough day for Prestonwood.
I really think that has the potential to get ugly if that doesn't happen. However, a guy that we have to talk about for Prestonwood is AJ Sibley. You saw him last week as a fantastic talent. You mentioned you thought he'll have a very good game this week, Ryan. What do you think are the expectations for Sibley coming into this matchup?
Last week he had 300 yards and I think 1 or 2 touchdowns. Absolute beast of a player. He's been a beast of a player all year this year. And yeah, I think whether or not, and this is what I said, they're going to pass a lot because they're going to be down probably. So maybe AJ doesn't get the ball as much, but I still think AJ can get himself 100, 200 yards. He really is that offense for them without McGuire. But yeah, with McGuire, he's still going to be they're still going to have a good passing attack as well.
Definitely so. Walker Lott, I mean, Parrish has been so good. Their lone loss in the season has come to South Oak Cliff, who is still playing in the playoffs. I mean, what do you think? Just they're poised to be in a dominant spot here. Your thoughts on what they need to do to get Prestonwood disposed of early?
Yeah, I mean, wow. I don't know. I think it's going to be very hard for either team. It's going to be just very interesting to watch. Parrish is so dominant defensively. There's not a weakness, especially on the defensive line. It's so strong. McGuire is going to have to work some magic. I think AJ Sibley has like 4 games straight of 200-plus rushing yards. If they get the run going against that defensive line, you could be watching out for something sneaky to happen this game.
Absolutely, I think so. Now, guys, the spread is Parrish minus 18.5. So the final time this season we'll have to ask, do you think Parrish covers a spread? Ryan Schroeder, 18.5 points. You're the only person on the podcast that has ever picked against Parrish not to cover. Your thoughts?
And it was this game, too, to be fair. It was this game against Prestonwood.
Do you remember what the spread was for that game?
Oh, I don't know if I do. However, it was like 20-something, right? But I think this game, you know, you're going to see I mean, they're looking at me right now. But you're going to see Prestonwood kids. They're going to go out. This is state championship day. Wilkes really good against Nolan Catholic last week, but that is a Nolan Catholic that went about 2-7 in regular season play. So yeah, I don't think they covered today. I think Parrish covers instead.
Walker Lott, 18.5 points for the final time this season. Does Parrish cover the spread?
Number 74, Nicholas Parrish.
Yes, but barely. That's how I'm going to say
20 points? So 20 points?
I'll say probably around 21.
Yeah.
3-score game.
I was saying before the game, I think there's a chance Parrish wins this game by 30+. Prestonwood, don't get me wrong, is a fantastic team. Parrish is just head and shoulders above everyone in private school right now, and it's not that big of a secret. You know, it'll be interesting, but I think Parrish's offensive and defensive lines, like you mentioned before, Walker, are going to make the difference in this one, and it's going to be very hard for Prestonwood to stop. So, guys, before we get out of here and start our pregame coverage, any closing thoughts?
You want to talk first about the last game?
Oh, yeah. Regarding the last game, Fort Bend Christian, after falling in the semifinals last year and facing a ton of adversity in the beginning of the season, gets a big win, an upset, some would say, over Fort Worth All Saints. Brady Dever, Brian Domino, Braden Gardoli, Max Granville, Connor Tallis all had huge games for the Eagles. Walker, I mean, you picked All Saints in this game. Would that seem to be a rational pick heading into it? Your thoughts on Fort Bend going out state champions?
They absolutely just stopped the run game for Fort Worth All Saints. You got to credit Max Granville, E.M. Ducksworth, and then others on that defensive line. Connor Tallis at the linebackers was very, very good. I think what's interesting to see is what moves forward, because there was somebody I was doing photography for the game, and Max Granville was all over the place, and that offensive line who looked so dominant on film and all of that just did not really come to play today, which was really shocking. The passing attack, Brian Domino got to work, and then Braylon Gardoni honestly had the better second half and let Brady Dever go to work, man. It was very, very fun to watch.
Absolutely. So, Ryan Schroeder, your thoughts on the previous TAPPS Division II state championship?
What I have to say in this game is it was a different first half from a different second half. 14-7 first half. As soon as Fort Bend scores, we saw a Chris Powell Freeman 90-yard kick return for 6 points. And, you know, with that from being a 14-7 at halftime, Fort Bend really changed things up in the second half. You saw a lot more passes from Brady Dever. I literally told Wes up in the press box, I said, you think Brady Dever gets a touchdown this half? Immediately, we're taking the elevator down to the field, and Brady Dever had already thrown a touchdown. So I think it's just good to know that, like, whatever happened at halftime really sparked something for Fort Bend and led to their win in this game. Like you said, Gardoni looked amazing, and Domino still had his effect in this game as well. And of course, the 2023 Brady Dever. It was fun covering him, and I think we can all say that he was one of our favorite players to cover.
Absolutely. So one of my favorite teams to cover the past 2 seasons. You have to tip your hat to Coach Jordan Black as well. He came in, had a fantastic game plan, and executed it at an elite level. A great game to watch. But we have a great game that's going to kick off here in about 10 minutes. We are very excited for that. Follow along. We'll have coverage here on Twitter as well. So make sure you follow along for that. Hey, we'll see y'all after the game. We're really looking forward to it. See you then.